What's going on, gamers? We got an interesting topic to cover here regarding more true physical ownership without needing the internet, right? No DRM, none of that stuff, right? Which is what I was talking about in my GOG video last night. Well, we're about to expose some hypocrisy here. You remember how the Halo Combat Evolved was supposed to have a physical disc, and they were trying to throw shots at Sony's physical disc ending production? Well, the funny thing here is that Microsoft's about to get exposed for the hypocrisy of that, or the Halo team just being goofy as general. As you saw, that other guy didn't wear that Halo t-shirt on the next event. I don't know if you guys saw that yesterday, but that was actually funny. That's becoming a meme. But yeah, let's get into this. Are we ready? Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary PS5 Collector's Edition disc requires download a campaign game. Just even play it offline, requires a download and a Microsoft account login to play it. So if you don't sign in online on your PlayStation Network, that's one sign in online, and you don't download, yeah, it needs a download. It's not just straight up offline. It's not really a true physical copy. If you don't do that, you can't even get the download. And if you don't make a Microsoft account, you can't even play. So is this really a physical disc preserving gaming without online? Oh man, you kind of wonder that, right? You see this stuff right here, man. This is the type of stuff we're talking about here. Become a member, leave a tip down below, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into this. So what I don't understand is, why would you make a tweet, which, you know, if you go to the Halo account, right? Have you guys been there? Have you been here, right? You remember when they were basically telling you that you could basically go and have a physical copy for this game? You know what I kind of find funny about this? It went gold on the 13th, by the way. They've been posting every single day. Let's go down here. They're literally posting every single day, but they're not telling you anything about this. Keep going down. Tell me we're not noticing these posts, right? Nothing is telling you about this. Let's keep going. We still haven't seen anything. Look at this. All the way down to where they're going. Look, physical disc, right? But when you tell somebody physical disc, what are you really telling them, right? This was a post right here. It had 2.2 million views. Remember that? Xbox fanboys are crashing out over this, right? That's the funniest thing. And you didn't see anything before that. They only did that just to show you guys so that we could see this. They only did that only after that. If you go look for any other post here, you're not going to find it except right here. And if you go take a look at some of these comments, people were trying to say, hey, we still live in a world where physical disc is an advertisement, but still a massive win for Halo. People were actually posting over this like it was supposed to be something amazing. But if you go back to that post, so does it play? Duh, we heard the game requires a mandatory download and a Microsoft account to play, even on PlayStation. Makes the physical disc kind of pointless, don't you think? 1K likes. He posted this on the 3rd. And then we find out, right? Because this is what he said. This is what we heard, right? No, guys, I want you guys to think about that. Confirmation that the new Halo release, same account right here. Confirmation that the new Halo release is the expected coaster. Needs a download to start and won't let you play without an additional login, even after. Needs a download to start. You could go get the download and you could try to go offline. Just think about this. Agent's trying to show you something here. You're going to get this. Sign in couldn't be completed. Verify you're using a valid non-guest account and try again. Error code Bravo. Let's give you an example here. New game update available. Please close the game and update to the latest version if you try to go offline. Right? Needs a download to start and won't even let you play without an additional login even after. A Twitter user was so kind to share these insights from an early PS5 Collector's Edition copy with us. Man. And you're saying that that's supposed to be a physical copy? Look, the point of the physical copy is to not need the digital license effects. I can understand if there was a day one patch that you wanted to update to make the offline version better, but they're not allowing you to do that. You can't play this game offline. It's DRM lockouts. It's not DRM free. So if you guys don't know, that means you have to be online or you're locked out. So not only do you need a download, you need the Microsoft account. And this is about to get interesting. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. Let's go on and read some of these comments. Abe's right here says, that's how you say it, no one cares about that. F Sony though, right? Yeah, the hypocrisy. You have to call it out. You have to call out Xbox fanboys hypocrisy here. Seriously though, Nintendo and Microsoft are getting 1% of the heat Sony is. I don't know what you're looking at Nintendo for. They're preserving physical and in the digital format. GameCube cards are way better than this route Sony's taking and what Microsoft's doing by putting a code in the box. Same thing with Rockstar. But guess what? If GTA 6 goes to Switch 2, which most likely it will, you have a game key card for that. You'll be able to move that around. I'm just saying, at least you would have some option in that world because of the way Nintendo policies actually work. Not the game key card is the greatest thing in the world, but it's way better than a code in a box and only digital. So yeah, this right here is a Microsoft issue. I understand why Nintendo's being brought up in this. They don't got nothing to do with that. I guess PlayStation has been carrying physical media as the other two have become useless. You have to be absolutely brain dead to believe that PlayStation's physical medium was bigger than Nintendo's. Nintendo always preserved physical. The most you ain't never seen a code in a box for Nintendo. It has to be game key card or on card. They've been left digital in the handheld world. Now, no PlayStation Portal put no physical game because it's an accessory. ROG Ally, what are you talking about? Steam Deck, what are you talking about? Steam, forget about it. GOG is the only one. Computers not having that anymore. I don't understand what you're talking about. Nintendo has the biggest physical medium in the industry when it comes to thinking about first party and just in general. Sony has the biggest third party physical medium where they had it, right? They're saying they want to get rid of it. But the point here is that when it comes to first party preservation, Nintendo has never done that for their first party games. Like all their games are actually doing that. When you look at Sony, them and Microsoft have been playing a game that is just anti-consumer for quite some time. Definitely Microsoft. They've been starting with that code in the box for actually the longest. I don't know if you know about that. So Desmond Play says, we've been calling out Microsoft's nonsense for years. So have I. Only to be met with hordes of fan bots defending them, including hacking and harassment campaigns thrown at us. Equally, we are calling out key cards. What more can we do? Yeah, I mean, we talked about the key cards, but it's still better option than that other stuff, a code in a box. But yeah, you would still need to get online for that. So that's not really escaping that. You know what I mean? Nobody's trying to quell that. No, we're just saying that if you want to think about the future, game key cards is way better than the route that Sony is going. Way better than the route Microsoft is going. Renting and code in a box. Rockstar is doing the same thing. Digital only launches of Call of Duty doing the same thing. But in the Nintendo world, if you think about if Activision wasn't going to be doing physical Call of Duty copies this year, for Nintendo Switch 2, you're going to get game key cards. You see, you would still be able to have something at least with that. Whereas if PlayStation and Xbox were doing digital only, which I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm just saying, let's say that that did happen and they just put the code in the box. That's not the way that it works in the Nintendo world. I'm not saying that can't happen. I mean, obviously that can be something that can happen, but you have that option for third-party publishers, which is actually pretty nice. Going down again, though, Majora says, does it require a perpetual connection after download and login, or is it just a one-time required connection? I'm not even sure about that. My thing is you need to have a Microsoft account to play the game. Yes. So after you log into the Microsoft account is not going to show that you're online if you're not logged into it. You have to actually get back on the game and it signs you into it. So yeah, no, you for a single player game, you can't escape the fact that you need to be logged into the Microsoft account to play. Right? If I told you that in order to play Helldivers on PlayStation, right? So you have to be online to play the game, right? Or any other game that requires online. How could you play it without logging into PlayStation Network? You see what I mean? How could you play any game without first signing into the Microsoft account if it's an Xbox game? You need the account to do that. Yeah, I mean, that right there is answered. That right there, I don't think you can escape. This is just a download. Once you get the download, why would you need to download over and over again? AGN can answer that for you right now. You need this, or you're not getting back on. Shuck says, these little paper cuts right here is what's going to kill your momentum. I mean, a lot of stuff already happened for that. But like I said, the Xbox brand was already damaged before she showed up. So are you surprised? I'm not. Halo says, that's BS. Or no, Jack says that Halo, that's BS. I'm not buying this game until it is playable from the disc. Good luck on that, bro. Because they would have gave you the disc with that download on it. But they didn't do that. They did it on purpose so that you can log online and then understand that even if you didn't need that, you have to log into the Microsoft account. You can't escape it. Even if it was that, you can't play this offline because you can't play without a Microsoft account. I think that you could even, like I said, you could get past that. Because just go get the download. Right now, go get the day one download and let's see if you could go offline and play it. You guys let me know, right? You already got your answer. You need a Microsoft account. So there, right there is letting you know it's DRM locked. A campaign game that requires local split, that if you want to do local split screen offline, you're going to need to be online to do that. That literally makes no sense to me, does it? But it's right here in front of your face. This is the minimum expectation for a physical release. At least it gives you the right to sell or loan it. But there's really no excuse for putting a build of the game on the disc. Bro, it's the account that you need it to have too. So not only do these morons don't have multiplayer, which this could have had easily 2 to 3 million more pre-orders if you had multiplayer and would have kept on selling after that. They threw it on Unreal Engine 5 AI slop. They abandoned the assets and now they're gating it on a DRM lockout with a Microsoft account. It's right there in front of your face. Christopher says, what's the point of a physical disc if it's unplayable without a connection download? And it requires not only a Microsoft account, but a PSN account just to play local offline co-op. I'm not going through all this crap for split screen. I can't say I blame the guy for feeling that way. Going back up here, you see it right here. New game update available. Please close the game and update the latest version. Meaning that you can't even go past and ignore the patch. Other games allow you to do that. With this game, you can't do that. And you cannot get on the game even after you got the download. It's going to tell you sign in couldn't be completed, login failed. See, it's going to keep on telling you that if you're offline. Verify you're using a valid non-guest account. You can't even create a guest account for local co-op. You have to have like a real account and an Xbox Live account because Microsoft's trying to get it to where you have 2 now Xbox Live players on. You see how they try to manipulate that? So if 2 million people want to play local screen co-op, Microsoft wants 4 million players. They're going to say Halo has 4 million players. See, the company's fake. Watch out for that because that's what's going to happen. So error code, bravo, it's right there. Non-guest account, you have to create a real account and go through that process every single time or you're not going to be able to play this game. I can understand, like, you're like, oh, I want to play online co-op. Well, duh, you need an online for that. But something that's local split screen and single player, I can't do this without a single player connection. It's absolutely atrocious. So stupid, man. Like, that's why I can't take this company serious, I'm telling you. So if you guys go to likes, we can get other things down here. This guy's going to throw that in the trash can. That's funny. Oh, man. Why the F is a single player game got to be downloaded when inserting a disc? I call this a digital game. Bro, that honestly, you could do this one time and then be good and go offline. I would say, okay, that's reasonable. But the fact that I need an Xbox account is the more crazy part. So that means you have to be signed in. That's DRM permanently. Surge says, so no go then. The usual situation with Microsoft ports. It's a single player game. What am I logging into? Campaign evolved, preservation, accessibility devolved. So many recent events certainly have me concerned about the future of games preservation. So that 2 coaster discs for Halo series now, Infinite never got a true physical either. I mean, the box art made it explicitly clear the download was required. Really a shame companies are botching a lot of releases to not have a full 1.0 build gold master on the disc. Bro, really, this was there or not? Like I said, you have to log into Xbox. So shame they put Gears Reloaded on a disc, but they can't put their bread and butter. Pass. Yeah. Is it modern gaming great? Download required, no offline play. Couch co-op requires a PlayStation Network, Xbox Live sign-in, empty disc, making physical disc useless, overbloated Unreal Engine 5 game yet again. Xbox, what the hell are you doing? This goes against what Halo was built and made its legacy on. Like I said, they're not honoring the legacy of it at all. When you really think about what was going on with Halo Combat Evolved, there was no online. They're not honoring the multiplayer either. You don't even have local multiplayer. Everything is disrespecting it. I'm telling you. No, this doesn't matter. Everybody knows what that is. You've seen the campaign hundreds of times. These Microsoft games on PS5 will always do this MS login BS. Same thing was happening with PlayStation Network on Steam, and fanboys were going crazy over that, but they're not going to say anything against this. There should be a big post about this. But you see, this exposes the over-hate towards PlayStation and towards Nintendo. And this always comes from the Xbox fanboys and the Xbox butthurt fanboys on PC. And PC fanboys, too, that are insecure. Great game, though, but creating a Microsoft account was a pain in the ass. Yeah, typical Microsoft. So, guys, we kind of get the idea here. What do you guys think about this? Become a member, leave it down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think. I think this is embarrassing because a single-player game is DRM. Permanent. Like I said, get past the download and you still need the Microsoft account. How can I play offline if I need to be signed into Xbox Live on PlayStation? Remember what they tried to do before? You would need to have PlayStation Plus? It was going to be worse. I'm telling you, you're seeing all these policies from Microsoft. And then all of a sudden it got removed. People trying to blame PlayStation from that. It never ceases to amaze me how embarrassing this company can get. This needs to be blowing up and it needs to be combated. Sony actually removed the login requirements on Steam. Let's see if Microsoft does it. Guarantee you they don't. But they want to remove multiplayer later. What a shame.